we will explore the potential catastrophic effects of the US dollar losing its dominant position as the world's reserve currency. Over the past few weeks, major countries, including Brazil, France, and even Saudi Arabia, have moved away from the US dollar, raising doubts about its long dominant role. For the past 80 years, the dollar has been the undisputed global reserve currency, allowing the US to print stacks of green paper and receive cool stuff for it. However, who profits from foreigners craving the green paper is not the American people, but the Fed, the Treasury, and Wall Street. Reserve status is a hustle, and the profits were sucked out and handed to those who designed the institutional fleecing we call the financial system. What if foreigners suddenly don't want dollars? Demand dries up, the dollar starts to lose value, and foreigners begin to worry about their life savings and corporate treasuries melting. They sell out of the dollar, and the dollar collapses. The American people think they are benefiting from reserve status, but the profits were handed to the people who designed the institutional fleecing. What happens if the dollar falls? For starters, foreigners do not need as many dollars, meaning there are extra dollars nobody wants, and this makes the price of the dollar fall. It is usually slow at first, then picks up speed if it keeps going, a progressive rush for the exits. Who is left holding the bag as the dollar becomes increasingly worthless? Americans. The only people on Earth who are actually obligated to use the US dollar, thanks to an obscure law passed in 1862 as a wartime emergency that nevertheless managed to stick around for 151 years. Americans have no choice, unless they swap their dollars for gold, Bitcoin, or goats. A falling dollar drives up the price of everything that comes into America, including the raw materials and imported components that drive American factories and sustain American consumers. The first to jump would be gasoline, heating fuel, and food prices, all of which are world markets. Along with prescription medicines, since China has a creeping stranglehold thanks to our idiotic over-regulation, and this is more or less true for every consumer product that China dominates. Next, those expensive commodities and input prices pour out through the supply chain, yanking prices up in industry after industry, including cars, construction materials like steel or concrete, clothes, furniture, TVs, computers, and medical devices. Gone are the days of affordable luxuries. Now, you have to work for them. If foreigners get nervous, they sell not only dollars but also assets denominated in dollars. Starting with the most liquid, stocks, bonds, and treasuries. These are easy to trade, so they go first. About 40% of American stocks are owned by foreigners, and about 1/3 of corporate bonds. If foreigners start fleeing, both plunge. This could cut your 401k almost in half, and it could drive up borrowing costs for companies to impossible levels, leading to mass bankruptcies. In conclusion, losing the US dollar's dominant position as the world's reserve currency would be catastrophic for the American economy and people on whose backs 80 years of reserve status were built. It would subject billions of foreigners to history's greatest bait and switch. Subscribe Libertarian Facts.